A single second of distraction or a split-second decision can completely change what happens next. Let's take a look at some notable moments caught on camera today and the safety lessons behind them. Luckily, both the pilot and passengers are safe, though the incident did cause a brief power outage in the area. When driving on the highway in wet weather, slowing down and leaving more space can give you extra time to react if something suddenly happens ahead. The semi-truck took this roundabout in a way that makes you wonder if the driver was testing the brake, steering, and his reflexes all at the same time. We don't usually pay attention to guardrails, but when things go wrong, they put in a lot more work than people realize. Highway infrastructure improvements silently work in the background to keep everyone safe on the road.
Hands up! Hands up! Keep your hands up! Don't drive away!
The PIT maneuver is only used under the right conditions, helping to limit risks and quickly bring dangerous chases to an end. It only takes a few seconds of not paying attention, but it can take days to deal with the aftermath and insurance companies. When visibility at an intersection is blocked, drivers of large vehicles need to wait until it's completely clear. Just edging forward one time can easily cause an accident. The person pushing the cart might have been standing in a bad spot, but that doesn't excuse the driver from paying attention to their surroundings. Checking semi-truck tires needs to be taken seriously. A sudden blowout can cause the vehicle to lose control in just a matter of seconds. The truck's dashcam shows how fast this happened, leaving the driver with almost no time to avoid the crash. Luckily, police arrived in time to help. Where are you watching from today, and what's the weather like in your area? During a light rain in Palakkad, this bus suddenly slid across the road, creating a moment that caught everyone by surprise. They might have thought the SUV would help them get away, but it ended up stopping right in front of the patrol car. Pedestrians need to look carefully in both directions, and they really shouldn't cross right in front of or behind large vehicles. The entire dramatic scene was caught on camera. What's the weather like where you are today? Good driving isn't about who goes first. It's about staying calm, reading the situation, and avoiding an accident. It's pretty hard to explain how the Explorer managed to casually drive right up onto that Chevrolet Corvette. The reality of taking food without asking first in Sydney. Investigators didn't find any evidence of a malfunction after the lightning strike. They're now looking into reports that pilot Denis Evdokimov didn't follow proper rules and procedures. On elevated highways, just a brief moment of distraction or a slow reaction can lead to a major accident since there's very little room to swerve. What do you think caused this? Was it the driver choosing a bad spot to turn around or just rushing into the intersection? If this video made you stop and watch, take one more second to hit that subscribe button. This motorcycle rider's adventure through a police checkpoint in Russia didn't last very long. Despite rolling over multiple times, the Land Rover's frame showed its strength by keeping the cabin completely intact. At the construction site, early warning signs appeared when the crane's back wheels lifted off the ground, showing the equipment was losing its balance. It looks like this Boeing had a long career, but its retirement isn't exactly as glamorous as you'd expect. Don't click away just yet. The upcoming clips might be the most memorable part of today's entire video. Being overly ambitious isn't always a good thing. But apparently, even when picking up trash, you need a little ambition. The dog probably just made an emergency landing and his owner unexpectedly became a safety cushion. These two tires apparently decided to leave the group mid-trip, leaving everyone else around to deal with the consequences. Do you think insurance is going to cover this expensive accident? Do you think authorities will classify this as a non-contact accident? If you thought that last clip was surprising, keep watching, because what's coming next is way harder to predict. The driver and the girl in front received their tickets and repair bills on the 20th, right after the incident happened. The sky over Chile just gave us a textbook lesson on extreme weather. This is a great reminder that driving instructors don't just teach you how to handle a car. They also have to make sure students understand yielding and lane rules. In your opinion, what's the most important thing when going through an intersection? Is it slowing down, checking both sides, or yielding the right of way? When you encounter a wrong-way driver on the highway, it's really important to slow down safely, keep a firm grip on the wheel, and avoid sudden swerving. Nine British tourists and one American getting caught in an avalanche in Kyrgyzstan proves that experience alone isn't enough to control all the risks in the high mountains. Another incident happened when a civil police vehicle tried to pass a transit bus, turning a priority lane into a potential hazard. It just goes to show that safety rules need to be followed by everyone, no matter what you're driving.
Zo, bijna de achterkant eraf. Godverdomme.
Over in the Netherlands, this Audi didn't even officially belong to its new owner yet, but it already got its first dent from the streets.
Så i Kina. Alt ser normalt ut, men så går det galt. Store deler av lastebilen blir revet.
The best news here is that the driver made it out safely after this serious crash. Leave a comment with the timestamp of the moment that made you do a double take. And stick around for some more remarkable footage coming up. The footage shows the dump truck driver might have been distracted. Do you think this was caused by the driver not paying attention, or was the bus parked in the wrong spot? Police said there was a fuel leak, but thankfully it didn't lead to anything worse. This really shows how important it is to lock down and control a scene quickly. Action on the tarmac as this F-16 starts to move. What do you think the pilot's hand gesture actually means? Here's another angle from yesterday's flight demonstration during the Breakfast with the Blues event. Police quickly arrested the man after the incident right before things on the highway could get any worse. You shouldn't rush through any job. Always take your time and be careful to stay safe.
Держись. Живой, живой. Ему сказали. Да.
Fortunately, he wasn't injured. I still can't believe a standard driver's license lets you drive a massive RV like this. A moment that really shows just how cute and playful our four-legged friends can be. On Highway US 67 in Texas, a semi-truck driver crossed into oncoming traffic to pass, even though the double yellow lines clearly showed it was a no-passing zone. Which behavior do you think is the most concerning here? Driving the wrong way, not paying attention, or riding without a helmet? It's really great to see people near the scene quickly stepping in and helping pull the victims safely to shore. Luckily, the man managed to get out of the way in time and wasn't pulled under the vehicle. Motorcycle riders really need to stay in their lane and keep a safe distance. Which clip do you think deserves the top spot today? Drop a comment below and stick around because we've got a lot more coming up. This is a good reminder that keeping a safe distance on the highway can stop a single crash from turning into a massive pileup. Hit subscribe today to join our community and make sure you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. This car might just have to wait until fall when the weather dries up to finally get out of this mud. Luckily, the passengers were safe as they moved right through the whirlpool. The person filming did a great job keeping the camera steady during all of this. You have to give them credit for that. The power of this tornado is terrifying, but what comes next is the incredible strength of the people.
Holy cow.
Oh my God, it's like right in front of us. Oh my God.
Nature can change in a matter of seconds. Being prepared and protecting our environment is always our first line of defense. A healthy forest, clean rivers, and a clear drainage system can really help reduce the damage when heavy rains hit. Without needing an invitation, tourists walking by naturally stop to watch this rare sight. Four waterspouts appearing all at once, offshore left locals and tourists on Koh Lipe stunned by the sheer power of nature. Let's take a look at the incredible power of these waves. The winds getting stronger on the island of Rota made things really tense as Super Typhoon Bobby moved closer.
How strong the wind in here, South Dakota, man. Oh my God. Oh, shoot, look at my door.
People need to stay indoors if possible and strictly follow the emergency instructions from local authorities. The earthquake was intense, but the bigger question is whether the bridge is still structurally safe. On this two-way road, the truck pulling over just in time stopped this from turning into a much more dangerous situation.
Это вот сейчас опасно. Ручкой мне.
In just a few seconds, something built with so much hard work was seriously threatened by the shaking power of nature. Areas that frequently get hit by tornadoes really need underground shelters to keep people safe. Over in Virginia, we see the moment this storm swept through the south side of the city. The people here are incredibly lucky that no one was hurt. Minnesota State Patrol, the Department of Transportation and tow trucks are all working together to free vehicles and clear the road about 5 miles east of Moorhead. Watching this, BMW i5 lose control and crash into a tree really shows how things can go wrong after just a single second of distraction. This is a reminder that knowing how to make a U-turn isn't enough. Drivers also need to pick a spot that's actually safe to do it.
Jesus Christ.
Oregon State Police ticketed the driver for an unsafe lane change. It's a solid reminder to always check your blind spots before cutting in between large trucks. In an unusual situation, making a calm, well-timed decision is sometimes way more important than any complex driving skills. Traffic was heavy when the crash happened, causing a major backup in the area. Traffic police stepped in to guide vehicles and investigate the scene. The exact cause is still under investigation.
Hello, Mr. George. How much you pay, folks? No, too much money. It's no good.
Those machines definitely weren't designed to do that. What an incredibly expensive joke. Watching this SUV roll over at an intersection in South Reno is heart-stopping, mainly because it all happened so fast. This rear-end crash shows that just one moment of not paying attention is enough to completely change the situation. It looks like the driver realized the car in front was stopping way too late, leaving them with no room to react.
Ja, hij heeft er 3. En we zitten op het strand en ik was zo blij dat we in Italië waren. Dus ik vind, dit is eigenlijk een goed voorbeeld waarom het goed is dat het aangehaald is. Spullen, die hebben dan altijd allemaal dingen vast met kettingjes en armbandjes.
The pilots should have pulled back on the throttle and let the plane's full weight settle on the ground to stay balanced. This is actually a common mistake in the FAM-2 aircraft. When changing lanes, you really need to check your mirrors, your blind spots, and make sure you have a safe gap before moving over.
Stupid motherfucker.
It looks like the driver changed lanes faster than they could even remember to look over their shoulder. What do you think is worse in this situation? Not watching the traffic lights or swerving so suddenly? It seems like the driver only noticed the car in front was stopped when there was literally no space left between them. This is a reminder that keeping your distance doesn't just prevent crashes, it also gives you more time to react to sudden changes on the road. This serves as a warning that drivers should always be ready for the car in front to stop suddenly, even if the road looks completely clear.
Stay over to 26. Here comes your water. Exposure. Yep, that's full coming. Come right up that.
Flames engulfed a 6-story building in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. Raising this to a 3-alarm fire shows that firefighters had to pull in major resources just to get things under control. If you love whales, go ahead and drop a like on this video. Dropping water or fire retardants can really help slow down the spread of the flames, buying more time for the ground crews to work. The distance between the fire and the water source directly affects how many drops the rescue crews can actually pull off. These are probably the rare flights where the only passengers are thousands of gallons of water. Moments like this remind us that preventing a wildfire is always safer and much cheaper than fighting the flames once they've spread. Thanks for joining us for today's remarkable moments. If you enjoy these stories caught on camera, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video.